Well, hello and welcome to ILoveGay today. And this is a continuation of a story we've covered through the Stonewall Inn, Julius Bar, where whether it's the pandemic, the quarantine, and of course the shutdown, it's been now almost exactly a year since all that hit first New York. And so there's a lot of stories to be told in terms of whether it's pride festivals having to postpone, and then of course the LGBT local media has kind of had to adapt to the lack of pride and some of the revenue that came with it. Restaurants have been hit, but of course in this story it's really focused on bars, clubs, which has always been very much kind of the center of our LGBT world across the world, in our life and our culture for many years. So right now I'm here with Scott Gatz, founder and CEO of Q.Digital. How are you, Scott?
Hi, great. Thanks for having me.
Scott is part of this story because at Q.Digital and with Gay Cities, they've launched a program and a fundraising campaign called SaveOurSpaces. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we at Gay Cities, we list gay bars and clubs in over 240 cities worldwide, every continent except Antarctica. And we have noticed this year, more than any other year, we've had to mark more venues closed, permanently closed, than ever in our history before. And we wanted to do something about that. So we reached out to our friends at GoFundMe and said, how can we connect and actually help these businesses? And so GoFundMe has a 501c3 nonprofit arm, and we've partnered with them to create a grant program for LGBTQ nightlife spaces. And we're raising money to fund that. And to date, we've raised over $40,000 that we'll be able to grant to any venue in the United States, LGBTQ venue in the United States that applies, and we'll distribute that money. And we're continuing to raise. We're trying to raise as much as we possibly can at gaycities.com/SaveOurSpaces to help these, like you said, these are meeting places for us. These are places where we can let our hair down and feel our truest selves. The gay bars and nightlife have always historically had challenges. It's a tough business, but I'd hate for the pandemic to be the reason why these spaces go away. So we want to save those spaces.
Well, you guys, in fact, the page and the section that you have that's kind of promoting this, you actually make it so that you've listed all the various bars and clubs which are around the world, but you've made it so that if folks have one bar that's near and dear to their heart, they can also donate to them as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we wanted it to be clear. If you want to donate to Alibi Lounge in New York City, Akbar in Los Angeles, or Bubby and Sissy's in Alton, Illinois, you can donate directly to them, and you should. If you're passionate about that. But we encourage you also to donate to our fund, which will distribute to all of those venues.
It's too soon to say, but my gut feel tells me history is going to shine a kind light on you for the work you guys are doing. And I don't just say that from any other position. It's just that what you guys are doing, like alongside with Gill Foundation also has really stepped up. It's that I think that folks are going to take notice of those who have actually stepped up during this weird and crazy time to really try to help at realizing that there is hope and light at the end of the tunnel, and just kind of get some of these folks over that line or that hurdle so that this summer they can be ready. I think that's going to be very well remembered.
Thank you. And I want to credit the Gill Foundation, what they're doing with Bar Julius in New York, matching all the donations going to it. What GoFundMe did, they raised a big fund for the Stonewall Inn, and now partnering with us to administer this fund. There's a lot of people who really care and want to do right by these businesses and by our community, and I'm thankful to have a role to play in that.
Yeah. Well, there is in that speaking of light at the end of the tunnel, that's just I think people are starting to really feel that there is hope now, and especially for this summer. But you guys did a survey, and it just came out today, so it was very timely for this. But you did a survey that kind of tried to dive into what folks are thinking right now.
Yeah, all of us at Q.Digital, we run Gay Cities and Queerty and LGBTQ Nation. So we asked all of our readers some questions about how they are feeling about Pride, how they're feeling about the summer, and life beginning to return to normal. Yeah. And there's so many people that are just kind of, there's a pent up demand for Pride. 72% of our readers are willing to do virtual Pride events. They want to stay safe. And that's much more than last year. That kind of shows how we've all gotten used to virtual, and we're kind of excited about it as well. Yeah. But 83%, so more, are just dying to attend an in-person smaller Pride event, not the million plus, but smaller at these venues or at friends' houses, that sort of thing. And then, I think we have such great demand. We want to get out there. I mean, 91% of them want to take a road trip this summer. So that's a lot. 91%. That's pretty much everybody is going to get in their car and drive someone. And over 80% are willing to stay in a hotel and hop on a plane. So we're ready, but we want to stay safe, obviously.
Yeah. No, I just heard from David Paisley out in from CMI and Palm Springs area, and he's saying that things are finally starting to really open up and pick up there as well, which is a huge thing because Palm Springs has been devastated bar-wise and hospitality-wise from all this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the challenge. We want to support our businesses, but we also want to stay safe. Yeah. And that's such a hard line to walk. We want to open, but we don't want to open too quickly. And that's where funds like our SaveOurSpaces fund can help. Yeah. Is give these venues a little bit of help. Give them, a couple more months to get through this kind of weird period where they're half open or they're quarter open or they're serving food just to stay alive. Give them a little bit of help so that by the time we hit July and August and the fall, we're really in a really good place and we're safe.
Yeah. And by that time, you and I will hopefully be connecting in the real world in Atlanta for IGLTA.
I can't wait.
I actually think it may, I don't know this for certain, but it may be the first conference that we're all actually able to get together again in the real world. And I think the energy and the excitement there is going to be overwhelming.
Yeah, I think in general, you can name that for every industry and everything, that those first big times where you're able to see acquaintances. This pandemic has made us have to stick to only our closest pod or our closest folks. And just the idea of bumping into someone in a large gathering is, oh gosh, wouldn't that be great?
I'm looking forward to it. So, mostly I really appreciate you being able to take out a few moments of your time just to kind of share what you guys are up to. I think it's very timely. And again, it's going to be part of a larger story we're kind of weaving together here on this end. And I look forward to seeing you in the real world again.
Yeah, definitely. And so I encourage everybody, gaycities.com/SaveOurSpaces. Check it out, donate to an individual venue or donate to the fund. And we're going to be continuing to raise throughout the coming months. And we'll just distribute those funds to all the venues that we can.
Yeah, and I'm going to make sure to link from the YouTube version of this to all that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matt.
Fantastic. Thank you. Good seeing you here.
Good seeing you.
So good. Coming back again.